Okay, and we are live. ¿Qué tal, amigos? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with this evening's live stream. It is 7:30 p.m. It is the 2nd of June 2024, and we're going to have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press today here in Spain, over the weekend, let's say, and we'll also have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel in recent times by viewers. Second half of the video, as always, or second half of the live stream, we'll go into the chat section and check out what is happening there. So if you are watching this evening, say hello in the chat section. Now, I've got some allergies today, a bit of hay fever, so I'll try to get through the live stream without sneezing or getting too congested, let's say. First piece of news here, and a historic fine of 150 million euros to Ryanair, Volotea, Vueling and EasyJet for charging cabin baggage fees. The Ministry of Consumer Affairs has fined Ryanair, Volotea, Vueling and EasyJet more than 150 million euros for applying extra charges to users for taking luggage on board or for seat selection when the traveller is accompanied by children or dependent persons, according to Cadena SER. It's the largest sanction for practices against customers imposed by the consumer authorities, say consumer organisations FACWA and OCU in a note. Although the breakdown of the penalties has not been disclosed, the airline that has received the largest fine is Ryanair, the first airline to start charging for carry-on baggage in November 2018. So the Spanish Ministry of Consumer Affairs cracking down on these low-cost operators, Ryanair, Volotea, Vueling and EasyJet, because they're charging for things that they shouldn't be charging for, going against the law, obviously, there, or the rules that these consumer bodies have put forward, and 150 million euros being slapped down there as a fine for those companies, with Ryanair the biggest recipient of fines there. So we'll see what happens if they pay, if they change their practices. But as we know, these low-cost airlines over the last 20 years or so have become a big business indeed, bringing people to holiday destinations like Spain. So again, a big crackdown on this type of behaviour, which is a little bit cheeky, let's be honest, by these low-cost operators. They suck you in with cheap fares and then slap you with extra costs as you go through. So yeah, a little bit cheeky, as I said. Next piece of news here, and the scandals that diluted the idyllic image of Juan Carlos I. There are several dates that Juan Carlos I will never forget. Probably the 22nd of November 1975, the day he was proclaimed the King of Spain, will be one of the happiest. However, on the 2nd of June 2014 may be one of the most difficult dates of his 86 years of life. On that day, the man who had been head of state in Spain for 38 years told Mariano Rajoy, then Prime Minister of Spain, of his decision to abdicate to his son, the Prince of Asturias. Don Juan Carlos may also have breathed a sigh of relief, because with that decision he wanted to put an end to the 4 years of freefall in his image and, therefore, in the popularity of the Spanish crown. However, that day marked the beginning of 10 years of complications for his life and his place in the royal family that wanted to represent a new era. So there we go, 10 years to the day, June the 2nd, 2014. Today, June the 2nd, 2024, 10 years since that former king abdicated, passing the baton or the crown onto his son Felipe VI, the Prince of Asturias, back in the day, because of all of the scandals that surrounded this king. And as we know, he currently resides in Abu Dhabi, because he had some issues with the Spanish tax authorities a while ago there, and left the country to see if things would die down, if in fact he would save the crown by his absence in the country, and of course allowing his son to have a reign without the influence of his father's dirty business dealings in the past, which, as we know, led him to difficult times, both business dealings and also some personal dealings that came to light. And people saw a former king that they hadn't seen before. There were lots of rumours going around, always lots of rumours, but nobody knew for sure what was happening until, of course, his abdication and all of the SH1T, as I say, hit the fan, and he left the country. Another piece of news here, cyber attacks reach an all-time high. No one is safe. We are under a global attack. This is out of the ordinary. I'm sorry to be a catastrophicist, but I think this is the way it is. It's not a coincidence. This is the explanation of that Rafael Lopez of the Israeli cybersecurity company Perception Point fines for the succession of cyber attacks in the last 15 days. Every second, billions of pieces of data and thousands of computer systems fall into the hands of organized mafias to steal accounts and demand money in exchange for returning control over the identities of customers and the infrastructure that sustains an entity's activity. Cybercrime is at an all-time high because of the great availability of technological weapons, because of the wide battlefield generated by digitalization, and above all, because it's a big business. Taken together, all its activity is equivalent to the world's third largest economy. The latest examples of this criminal hyperactivity in Spain, with the greatest impact in terms of the size of the victims, are the possible security breaches at Banco Santander, Telefónica, Iberdrola, and the DGT. So there we go. Cyber attacks at an all-time high. No one is And we have seen in recent times, as we can see in this article here, Banco Santander suffering a cyber attack, data breach, Telefónica last week or the week before, Iberdrola, and the DGT, which is the Spanish Traffic Directorate here, suffering a cyber attack also, where these cyber criminals get their hands on people's information, sometimes sensitive data, and companies are left reeling trying to deal with the damage that these cyber attacks cause. But as we see here, no one is safe anymore, and the amount of phishing attempts that I get, messages on my phone from different organizations, whether it's banks, whether it's the post office, whether it's courier companies, you name it, they're trying to scam you, and it is a dangerous place out there with the internet. But one way to stay safe, use a VPN. It could help you stay safer. Final piece of news, and a squatter calls the police to complain that the owner of the flat has disturbed him by asking him to leave. Believe it or not, the Vigo police station sent 3 patrol cars to a centrally located building in Venezuela Street yesterday after receiving a call from a squatter in his 30s who asked for help because the flat owner came to the building in the morning to tell him to leave the building immediately because he accused him of setting up a narco piso, a drug flat, and of making life miserable for the whole building. The owner announced that he would visit the building more often and increase his appearances to control and defend my property. Passers-by and shopkeepers watched as plainclothes officers entered the doorway, examined the door, and spoke to both parties to gather their respective versions. Finally, the National Police told the owner of the flat that there was nothing more they could do, and he had to leave the property while the squatter continued to reside on his property. The intruder is said to be living in the flat in a precarious situation, and one of the possibilities is to apply to the courts for his eviction through an eviction enforcement order. So there you go. That is what some landlords here in Spain are dealing with. Squatters, people that move into flats or apartments or houses, pay a couple of months' rent, maybe stop paying rent because they lose their job or get into a precarious situation, as we saw there, and difficult to get them out. And when the police come, they take the side of the squatter, which is what we saw there, because obviously the owner of that flat had not gone through the correct judicial process to evict the squatter, or maybe he has, but it's still in the processing period, and he tried to force the person out by visiting the squatter and telling him what he thinks and where he should go. But the squatter not having any of that, getting on the phone to the cops, and the owner, as we saw, the person who ends up in trouble. First comment, believe it or not, Mag Wilson. The Western world has turned into a terribly aggressive place. I don't know what's going on, but it may relate to the wars and general unhappiness and hatred towards other races. Men, and you must admit it's mainly men, under the influence of drink and drugs that get angry and fight. Thanks, Mags, for that. The Western world has turned into an incredibly aggressive place. Well, yeah, you could argue that, or you could say that it's been an aggressive place always. I don't know. But these recent events in Mallorca where we saw brawls, some young men out of control on alcohol on the island. I think there was 200 people involved in one incident, 8 or 10 or 20 involved in the other, can't remember the exact number, but taking on the police. Riot squads called in because they'd had a few too many bevies, they'd had a few too many drinks, and afterwards, of course, they lose their minds. They go crazy and start annoying other people, and the police get called in. And when the police get called in, that's when things turn violent, unfortunately. But as we'll see here in some other comments, if I can find one here, this one here I'll look at first. Why didn't you mention the 200 German tourists that attacked the staff of the leisure establishment that you showed in El País only 1 minute before the 8 English tourists were arrested? Another case of you being very selective about who you blame for drunken trouble. Very odd. Well, Andrew, thanks for the comment, but you have to listen and watch the whole video, my friend, because I did talk about the German tourists after I spoke about the 20 or so British lads that also got into trouble. So again, continue the video, keep the play button down the bottom, keep it going, and watch the whole video before you waste your time with a comment like that. Thank you very much. One here from Raymond. Just seen your report on Caldia. Your favourite GB News literally ran a whinge fest about Brits behaving badly. Their conclusion, Spain needs the money, so we'll have to put up with it. There we go. Spain needs the money. Always the argument that you hear. If we don't come, people will lose their jobs. Spain needs the money. They need us to come here as tourists. Yeah, perhaps, but I don't think the whole industry is going to go belly up if you don't come. And, of course, GB News always looking for that sensationalist aspect and saying here that, yeah, Brits behaving badly, but you have to put up with it because that's what it is. That's what it is. People come down here, they're on holidays, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter if they start throwing cans of beer at other people on the beach. You have to put up with it because otherwise you might lose your job. What a load of rubbish. One here from Neil. All the more reason to bring back national service. Interesting this because I have heard different countries floating this idea. I think even in the UK the other day the Prime Minister floated the idea of national service again. And I've heard it in France also being mentioned and in Germany as well. Here in Spain, there are newspaper articles saying that what would happen if it came back national service or the mili as they call it here. I don't know, but the defence minister has said that that's not going to happen. So I don't think Spanish youth have to worry just yet about going into a green uniform and defending the country should something happen. But other countries, yes. And this comment here saying, all the more reason, with all of this drunken behaviour, to bring back national service. Maybe it'll calm people down. I don't know. One here from Tasks. The loudish behaviour is a huge problem. I've seen it all British, Irish, French, German, US. All tourists lose their manners once the drink starts flowing. I don't know what can be done to combat it, but for me, I vacation in the places I won't encounter it. For example, the north of Spain. Thanks, Tasks. Yeah, you might not encounter drunk foreigners in the north of Spain, but you will encounter drunk locals because the Spanish nightlife extends to every corner of the country. Doesn't matter where you go, you will find people having a good time. Go to Galicia, go to San Xenxo, you'll see people having a party. Go to Asturias, you'll find places where people are having parties because it's what people do in the summer months. But you won't see foreign tourists, which is the difference if you go to Mallorca or you go to Benidorm, or you go to the Canary Islands, because you'll mainly see foreigners running amok. Another one here from Jean. You would think that in a real democracy the people decide. No, not really. We don't learn anything from the past. I think talking about the Catalan call for self-determination, you would think that in a real democracy the people decide. Well, yeah, but you don't let one group of people decide their future in a country that is apparently united. So why should one group be able to vote and have an influence on the rest of the country, but the rest of the country is not allowed to vote? So the whole self-determination vote is only in Catalonia, and I don't even know whether they have majority support there for it anymore. Maybe 10 years ago, yes, but today don't know. And the rest of Spain, what happens? They don't decide, they don't get to vote with one of the autonomous communities, a system that was agreed on 50 years ago or 45 years ago. They don't get a say. That's the issue, right? And the last one here from Coffer. Hi, Stu, do you go to a gym where you live? Is membership expensive there? The answer is, Coffer, no, I don't go to a gym. Can't you tell? I'm not a weightlifter. I don't go to a gym try to keep fit. If I do try to keep fit, I just ride my bike or go for a walk. I don't waste my money on gym memberships. No offense to people that do go to gyms. You can do whatever you want. But for me, not the case, Coffer. And to know what the price is, a gym in my local area, I've got no idea. But I would say around 50, 60, maybe 70 euros a month you would pay to go to a gym. I imagine if you go to a private gym, you can go to the local sports centre where everything is subsidised. You get a cheaper price, but hard to get in. That's the issue. Thanks. Now, into the chat section. Before I go there, I'm just going to change the backdrop photo here. This one was sent in by Liz, and it's a picture of Granada down there in the south of Spain. A nice shot of a square or a plaza here. And if you've got a similar picture that you would like to see on the backdrop, the email address is this one here, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Feel free to send your pictures through to that address, or if you have any other information that you would like to bring to my attention, you can do that too at that email address, spainspeaks@gmail.com. Like button also on the screen for people that haven't hit it yet. I'll just put that there. We're currently at 60 likes, so hit the like button if you haven't done so. We'll see if we can get a decent tally today. So just below the video you'll find the like button. People that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it's on the super thanks or super chat option here on the live streams, buy me a coffee, longer term supporters on Patreon, channel members also, thank you very much for that support. Greatly appreciated. Helps the channel continue, helps the channel keep going. Viewer support, of course. Thank you. Now into the chat. I'm going to go now. Let me see if I can find, I'll just scroll up to the top, I should say. I think I saw a super chat here from Marcus, €5. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marcus. Good evening from a sunny Campo Amor. Join me in a cold one. We'll do after, Marcus. I will join you in a cold one afterwards. Now, Barbara, first person that I can see, valued member, coming in from the Playa Flamenca, where it's been a pleasant 23 degrees Celsius there. Good to see you, Barbara. I hope you're well. Andrew coming in from southeast London, 20 degrees there today, valued member also. Erica coming in from Terrassa, 23. Hasn't rained much, but must have rained elsewhere as temperatures are beautiful. A real spring. Hope everyone has a lovely weekend and best wishes. Thanks, Erica, for that. My allergies are playing up. Tio Al coming in from Philadelphia, 26 degrees, con cielo nublado. A bit cloudy where Al is there in Philadelphia. Not in California at the moment. 123 Sean away, valued member also, as was Al. Interesting week ahead with European elections. Yes, 123. European elections when? The 12th, is it? I think. Not sure exactly, but soon. And lots of campaigning going on at the moment. Lots of billboards and signs around the place with some familiar faces who are going to go into the European political scene. Get out of the Spanish political scene. Just go into the European political scene. Get out of the spotlight. And lots of campaigning going on. High flyer, John coming in from Leon C, I think that is, Essex. Have a great week, says John. Thanks, John. Gigi is in Salamanca. Always enjoys this lovely place, having a rest there. Favourite Plaza Mayor in all of Spain. There we go. Fantastic place it is, Salamanca. I was there a few weeks ago. Lovely. Paul Gerard, hoping everyone is well. Valued member 2 is Paul Gerard. David says hi. Sunny coming in from Basingstoke. Warm there. Hope everyone had a lovely weekend. Thanks for that, Sunny. Jeffrey coming in from Estatit, Catalonia. Thanks, Jeff. Good to see you. Ted, Washington, D.C. Janet coming in from Oxford, valued member. Chrissy always uses Ryanair. Have had no problems. I only go with a small bag under my seat. Yeah, not everyone has an issue with Ryanair, but of course the consumer watchdog here putting in a complaint, and the Consumer Affairs Ministry fining Ryanair and some others as well. Zania is saying, when I buy a ticket, I just want to know the true cost. Infuriating. Exactly. When is election? I think on the 12th, Chrissy? Not sure. Don't quote me on that. Erica is enjoying a manchego. Erin with some leftover homemade tapas, which she made yesterday for some friends. A lot of effort, but lovely today. Thanks for your embutido video. Thanks, Erica. Glad you liked it. Bronny coming in. Buenos tardes. Sorry to hear about the hay fever. Fellow sufferer. Currently feeling warm at 17 and sunny here in South Wales. Thanks for the live stream. Thanks, Bronny, for that. Yeah, hay fever. Really annoying. Sort of comes and goes. Jonathan, valued member. Hello, everyone. Good day, Jonathan. Jay, always watch the content on replay. Glad to catch you live. Thanks, Jay, for tuning in. Pamela coming in from San Juan de los Terrenos, down there in the south. What else? Let's have a look. Ian saying here that the charging for seat allocation and only allowing check-in 24 hours in advance is worse than baggage. I can see the advantage for the airline in persuading people to travel light, less fuel used. Yes. Welsh. Work for an international charity and we're always being attacked. Lots of ongoing training. Those cyber attacks are unstoppable. TOL has had little spam since NordVPN. Yeah, that's right. A VPN is one of the purposes of it. Welsh Toro saying that if a squatter entered his home or their home in Andalusia, they would be very sorry indeed. There would be no need for the police. Alan, enjoying the live stream. The Governor VIP Vino Tinto, $7.50 from a sunny, warm South London. $7.50, I think it's about €3 a bottle here. Jonathan saying Proton VPN is very good. Thanks, Jonathan, for that. Yeah, any VPN I think works well. John saying hello. Good day, John. Leonor saying thank you. Thanks, Leonor. National service doesn't have to mean the military. Service in the community could be beneficial. There we go. Nice to be on a live stream, says David. Off to Benalmádena in 10 days for 2 weeks. Hope that all goes well. Cooperino says, how bad is the squatter situation in Spain? Are there some regions more exposed than other regions? Yeah, I think Catalonia is the most exposed region, or at least that's what we read here in Madrid. I'm just going to blow my nose. Give me just 1 minute here. I'm just going to change the backdrop while I do that. So just give me a minute, please. All right, I'm back with a blown nose. So feeling a little bit better, I must say. Where was I? Let's have a look here. John, tourism hasn't changed. I heard that nearly 14 years ago from Barcelona to San Agustin, Florida. There we go. Tourism has changed, sorry. Picture of Granada. Not sure where in the city that is, says Janet. Mugger is like 79. Mugger, of course, put a picture in last week that we saw. Great photo. Tranqui Tronquista, warm greetings from El Carpio de Tajo in Toledo. Always watch the recorded videos later on. Good to see you. European elections June the 9th, next Sunday. All right, so not the 12th. I got that date mixed up, but I was close. Another election in Catalonia. Absolutely, Erica. That is true. Another election there after the ones that you just had, of course. Ryanair is the magic airline. When things go wrong, the employees disappear from personal experience. And Juan is saying that this is the Plaza Nueva in Granada. Thanks a lot for that, Juan, for letting us know. Now, I'm going to wrap the live stream up. Darren's coming in from Essex today. And Johnny, the last one here that I can see. Lower the airfare, the more you lose. Want a meal during the flight, you will pay. Want that window seat, you're going to pay. At EDC, nothing is really free or cheap, that is true. And John and Julia coming in from Denia. Wonderful evening. Only started getting hay fever when I stopped smoking. There we go. So hay fever also an issue for them. So, yeah, that's it. That's the end of the live stream. I pushed through. It hasn't been easy with this hay fever, as I said, a runny nose. I've also got a fly buzzing around here, so not comfortable. But I'll be back again tomorrow. No, tomorrow with a regular video. Another live stream on Tuesday. So hope to see you guys then. It's been fantastic speaking to you all today. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Hasta luego. Hasta entonces. Adios. Bye-bye.